Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing one of my favorite summer desserts, a beautiful and delicious strawberry shortcake. This cake has soft, fluffy vanilla cake layers filled with fresh, juicy strawberries and a light and creamy Chantilly whipped cream frosting. It's fresh, not overly sweet, and absolutely perfect for strawberry season. So let's get started. First, preheat your oven to 320 degrees Fahrenheit, 160 degrees Celsius. Next, lightly grease 2 8-inch round cake pans and line both the bottoms and sides with parchment paper. This will help the cakes release easily after baking. In a medium bowl, add 325 grams, or about 2 2/3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and half a teaspoon of salt. Whisk everything together until well combined. Then sift the mixture into another bowl. Give it one final whisk and set it aside until needed. Next, let's make the homemade buttermilk. In a measuring cup, add 250 grams, or about 1 cup of whole milk. Then add 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of vinegar. Give it a quick stir and set it aside for about 5 to 10 minutes. The milk will slightly curdle, and that's exactly what we want. In a large mixing bowl, add 113 grams, or half a cup, of softened unsalted butter, 105 grams, or about half a cup, of sunflower oil, and 332 grams, or about 1 2/3 cups, of granulated sugar. Using a hand mixer or stand mixer, beat on medium speed for about 3 to 4 minutes until the mixture becomes light and fluffy. Next, add 3 large room temperature eggs, one at a time, while mixing on low speed. Make sure each egg is fully incorporated before adding the next one. Add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and mix again until combined. Next, add half of the buttermilk and mix on low speed until just combined. Next, add the dry ingredients in 3 additions, alternating with the remaining buttermilk. Gently fold each addition with a spatula first, then mix on low speed until just combined. Be careful not to overmix. Now our batter is ready. It's smooth and well combined with no visible streaks of flour. Now once the batter is ready, evenly divide it between the 2 prepared cake pans. I like to weigh my cake pans using a kitchen scale to make sure I have an equal amount of batter in each pan. Then, give the pans a few light taps on the countertop to release any large air bubbles. Bake on the center rack of your preheated oven for 30 to 35 minutes, or until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean, or with a few moist crumbs. Once the cakes are baked, remove them from the oven and let them cool in the pans for about 20 minutes. Then, carefully turn the cakes out onto a wire rack, remove the parchment paper, and let them cool completely before assembling and frosting. And just look at how soft and fluffy these cakes are. Now let the cakes cool completely on the wire rack before we move on to the next step. Once the cakes are completely cool, I'm going to trim the tops of each cake to create nice, even layers. Then I'll set them aside while we prepare our filling. Now let's prepare our fresh strawberry filling. First, Cut off the stems from 350 grams of fresh strawberries. Then slice the strawberries into small pieces. Now add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar and gently mix everything together until the strawberries are evenly coated. Now let the strawberries sit for about 10 minutes. As they sit, the sugar will naturally draw out some of the strawberry juices, making them beautifully sweet and juicy. There's no need to cook the strawberries for this filling. Once they're nice and juicy, they're ready to use in our strawberry shortcake. Now let's make our Chantilly whipped cream frosting. This frosting is incredibly light, creamy, and delicious, and it pairs perfectly with our fresh strawberries. In a large mixing bowl, add 125 grams, or about half a cup, of softened cream cheese, along with 125 grams, or about half a cup, of mascarpone cheese. Then, beat on low speed just until combined and smooth. Adding the cream cheese and mascarpone is completely optional, but it helps make the whipped cream frosting more stable and gives it a richer, creamier texture. If you prefer a lighter, more traditional whipped cream frosting, you can simply use heavy whipping cream, confectioner's sugar, and vanilla extract instead. Then I'm sifting 80 grams, or about 2/3 cup of confectioner's sugar into the bowl. Sifting the sugar helps remove any lumps and gives us a nice, smooth frosting. Now beat everything together on low speed just until well combined and smooth. Be careful not to overmix. Next, pour in 300 grams, or about 1¼ cups, of cold, heavy whipping cream, along with 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Beat on high speed until the mixture thickens and becomes light, fluffy, and holds stiff peaks. Be careful not to over-whip it. This is the consistency we're looking for. As you can see, the frosting holds nice stiff peaks and keeps its shape. And that's it! Our Chantilly whipped cream frosting is ready. It's light, smooth, and creamy, but still stable enough for filling and frosting our strawberry shortcake. Now I'm straining the strawberry juices from the strawberry and sugar mixture that we prepared earlier. Make sure to save the juice because we're going to use it to add extra strawberry flavor to our cake. Now I'm transferring the Chantilly whipped cream frosting into a piping bag fitted with a Wilton 1-inch piping tip. Now that everything is ready, it's time to assemble our strawberry shortcake. First, place the first cake layer onto your cake board or serving plate. I like to add a small amount of frosting underneath to help keep the cake in place. Then I'm gently poking a few holes in the cake with a fork and pouring some of the reserved strawberry juice over the top. This will add extra strawberry flavor and help keep the cake nice and moist. Then spread some of this Chantilly whipped cream frosting evenly over the top of the cake. Now pipe a border of Chantilly whipped cream frosting around the outer edge of the cake. This creates a dam that will help keep our strawberry filling inside. Now I'm going to place the strained fresh strawberries in the center of the cake, spreading them out evenly while keeping them inside the piped border. Next, add a little more Chantilly cream over the strawberries and gently smooth it out. This will help hold the filling together and give us a nice, creamy strawberry layer. Now carefully place the second cake layer on top, making sure it's centered. Gently press it down just enough to secure it in place. Now once again, gently poke the cake all over with a fork, then drizzle some of the reserved strawberry juice over the top. Next, cover the top and sides of the cake with the remaining Chantilly whipped cream frosting. Use an offset spatula and cake scraper to smooth the frosting until you have a nice clean finish. For the decoration, I'm piping beautiful swirls of Chantilly cream around the top using my 1M piping tip. Finally, decorate the top with fresh strawberries. And just like that, our beautiful strawberry shortcake is finished. I recommend chilling the cake for at least 1 hour before slicing. This gives the cream and strawberry filling some time to set and makes it much easier to get beautiful, clean slices. Now that the cake is chilled and everything has had time to set, I'm going to slice into it and show you the inside. And just look at those beautiful layers. The cake is so soft and moist with that creamy Chantilly whipped cream and plenty of sweet, juicy strawberries in every layer. I absolutely love how this strawberry shortcake turned out. It's light, fresh, creamy, and not overly sweet, and all of those flavors work so beautifully together. This is such a perfect cake for spring and summer, or really anytime you're looking for a light and refreshing dessert. So, that's it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you decide to give it a try, let me know how it turns out in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.